Rob, a bittersweet day, I suppose, for you and the rest of the club, really. Obviously, with the news that Mike busted and Chris are heading off to MK Dons. Obviously, a lot of stuff to get through at the minute, but I suppose the first thing from yourself and everyone else at the rest of the club, I mean, the three of them have done a pretty unbelievable job, really, over the years that they have been here. But for a personal note yourself, I suppose, sad to see them go as well.
Yeah, I mean, I can't speak higher of any three people, and I think the job they've done here speaks for itself. But the biggest thing for me is the three of the best people you could ever meet, and their biggest strength is just how they want to help people get better and improve every day, and that's on the pitch and off the pitch. And obviously I've known Mike for a long time. I consider him one of my best friends, and it's a very emotional day. Very pleased from on a personal point of view, because it's a step up that I suppose has been coming for a long time, and he's felt it's the right time to do it. And I know he would have been sad about doing that as well. And I think probably everyone's just thinking the gratitude and the thanks for everything they've done, and that should never be underappreciated, what they've done for this club at a time where it was needed the most. And yeah, I'm just proud to have been a part of their team for a little bit, and obviously even more proud to call myself their friend.
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned obviously Mike and busted the job they've done, I suppose, has been pretty apparent to supporters and everything, but Chris going as well has probably kind of flown under the radar a lot of the time he has been here. I mean, he's kind of been building a bit of an analysis department really this season in particular, obviously the physio, but does a lot of other stuff as well in terms of the psychology side and things like that, and obviously he's taken on more of a psychology role there where he is leaving. So on his side as well, I suppose it's a big period of transition now for the club coming ahead.
Yeah, I mean, just to talk about Chris Bell for a second, is just one of the most beautiful human beings ever. It's the only way I can describe him. I'll get emotional again, Jack, because they've all left today, and it was an emotional day. But again, just an amazing human being who's done so much for the club. A lot of the stuff Chris does goes unnoticed, and how hard he works and how much he puts into it on multiple fronts. You know, he's doing the jobs of 3 or 4 people, and you know, he's never one to complain. He's always a support network for people, and he's always helping people with the psychology and everything. So he's going to be a huge asset for MK Dons, and also their support will always still be there, just obviously from a bit further away. And it's my job, I suppose, to make sure we use this opportunity to recreate a new structure and a more streamlined, better structure for the club, so that we can be even better moving forward. You know, obviously, I'm not going to brush around the fact Mike and Busty and Belly are huge assets to the club, but you know, we've got to move on, we've got to look forward, and we've got to take the positives, and there's so many positives at the club right now, and that's what we're going to focus on. Yeah,
and of course it's a big period of transition for everyone around the place now, really, but for yourself stepping into the sort of interim caretaker managerial role, whatever you want to call it, but how has that kind of come about in stepping into that, and how are you looking at that now ahead of what's again a busy period, because you're playing Saturday, Tuesday, Saturday again?
Yeah, no, obviously it's been a bit of a whirlwind, you know, the usual stuff that you would say. I think I only found out a couple of days ago I was actually away, so I've sort of come back in to sort of take over, and obviously had chats with Mike and chats with Neil and Bernard and the board and stuff. And yeah, no, genuinely excited. I think if I'm going to be in this position, which one day I thought I would be, but not quite this quickly, I'm very lucky to have a group of players, staff, and people at the club that I can work with, and I think that's the huge positive. You know, the players that we've got on the pitch, the support staff, the incredible talent and the mentality of this club. You know, I'm very fortunate to be able to come in at this time, and yeah, sort of come in as an interim manager alongside Louis Story. He's going to be assistant manager, and Carl Magnay stepping up to do what he's always been doing, but to take on like a more of official first team coach role. And yeah, the chats are, and from my point of view, you know, this is about continuing what we're doing, you know, continuing the process as we always talk about. Hopefully that's not been copyrighted and been stolen, but you know, we're in a fantastic period of time. We're playing great football. We're developing this young squad that we've been doing for the last year or so since I've been here, and that's what I want to do. I want to keep it going, keep us developing, keep the football developing, keep us adapting and evolving every week, and just see where it takes us. And I can only thank the players today and everyone around that's given me the support, and you know, made it what was a difficult day a very enjoyable one, and my first one. And being completely honest and blunt, you know, this is something I'm looking to do I want to be the manager of this club and I want to take the club forward because it's such a brilliant place to be. And yeah, it's an immensely proud day. Sad day because I've lost 3 amazing friends, but it's a really proud day for myself, and I know for the same for Louis and Mags, and I think we're going to give everything to make sure that we keep developing the club, we keep developing the players, and we just bring us together even more. And let's just see where it goes, because for me it's very exciting times ahead.
Yeah, and on that sort of side, as stepping in as interim manager as such, I suppose it's a bit of a term that can create a bit of uncertainty sometimes, because whenever you see that you're never really sure how long that interim manager is kind of going to be in place. Some clubs they'll be there for 2 games and then they've appointed someone and that type of thing. But this is very much the opposite, and that he's in place for the foreseeable future. So how are you looking ahead and I suppose planning? Because like you say, you've got a bit of a set idea that you're going to be in place for a while, and not kind of thinking, right, we're taking it, a day or 2 at a time and just seeing what happens kind of thing, and a bit off the cuff. Yeah,
well, that was the really important thing for me, and that's what I said, is it has to be about the stability and the continuation from what we're doing, and outside, obviously Mike and Busty, myself, Louis, Mags, know these players and the way we play better than anyone, and I think that was one of the things that I put forward and said, is that if we're doing it, I want to do it properly and be given time. And I think it was important for the players to know that things weren't going to come in and change from what we've been doing. I think that was the biggest feedback that we've had, is that we want to continue what we're doing. And we want Mike and Busty and Belly to be there because they started the whole process, but things have moved on and we need to move on with it. And stepping forward, we want to continue what we've got. Keep developing, keep improving, keep enjoying it. It's been a brilliant season so far. Still loads to improve on, still loads to look forward to, lots of hard work to come. But I think I was in the crowd with the fans on Saturday, and I could just see how much everyone's enjoying watching us. The travelling, obviously the amount of travelling our fans have to do, and yeah, I think we just need to take that feeling forward, keep working, and keep playing good football, and making sure that we keep playing our way, we win and lose games our way, and that will always be the case, especially as long as myself, Mags and Louis will be in charge.
Yeah, and you mentioned Mags and Louis there, of course. Louis stepping in as assistant, and Mags, like you say, has kind of been doing a bit of a coaching role really, but now officially being more of a first team coach on that side. But how helpful is it for you to have those two alongside you when they've kind of been part of the journey themselves a bit, really? They know what the place is about, they know everything that sort of needs to be done in the Gateshead way as such, if you want to call it that, to fit into that kind of process as well.
Well, I wouldn't be taking on this role if it wasn't with having Louis Story with me as assistant manager. He's one of my closest friends, but other than that, he epitomises everything that Gateshead's about. From when he first come in, taking on the coaching, taking on the playing, to where he is now. It's very much that we're doing this together. And obviously Mags, him and Louis on the pitch, off the pitch, they use the same word. They epitomise everything we're about in terms of the hard work, the intensity. But Mags' understanding of how we play, his the way he's seen within the group, his understanding of football, it really aligns with myself and Louis. And be honest with you, the 3 of us were really excited. And it's a challenge we didn't think we'd be facing, but we're going to be doing everything we can to make sure that we keep progressing the club and keep working day to day. And I think one of the biggest strengths here is we never get too high, too low. We just keep the consistency. 2 really tough games, 4 really tough games in the next 2 weeks with the cup. But we'll just take it training session by training session and game by game.
Yeah, and touching on the players' side of things as well, I mean, how have the boys been with you so far? Obviously took training today for the first time. I mean, from the sidelines, I wouldn't really say that the intensity's dropped at all on that front, but as well, even from your point of view, I suppose you've been part of clubs where managers have left and come in and things like that, and I imagine there's a bit of uncertainty around it all. So how important is it from your point of view to get a message sort of across to the lads in terms of how things are going to operate, so that there isn't a sort of period in limbo where people aren't really sure how things are going to run or anything like that?
Well, I think that's spot on, Jack. I think that was the biggest thing from me. I think it's the biggest thing from Neil, Bernard, the board, and I think it's the biggest thing. The feedback from the players is that they were worried that things were going to change and we'd lose our way. And I think, obviously, I thank the players after training today. One, for their effort, their intensity, their buy-in to what has been a difficult day. and yeah, it just showed the character of this group, and I know that we're going to be fine because this group is so resilient and overcomes so many obstacles and things, and things that they can't control. And that's why I'm really proud to be sitting here. And yeah, obviously I thanked them after training for that and how they've handled it, and also the response from the lads in terms of the fact that it is being consistent, that it's myself, Louis and Mags. It's, we know what we're onto is a good thing. The reason Mike's gone is because he's been so successful and these players are doing so well. So, for me, that makes my life slightly bit easier, although probably slightly more stressful now, is that a really good group of talented footballers but brilliant human beings. So yeah, very, very excited and very fortunate, and I think that was the important message, is that there's a consistency there, nothing's changing. This isn't just for the short term, this is going to be a consistent pathway for us and the club, and we'll just take it day by day and game by game.
Along a similar sort of thread, really, from a fan's perspective, it's kind of uncharted territory for them a little bit as well, in having a change at the helm, given that Mike and Busted and Chris have been here for so long. So is it the same sort of message to them as well? Obviously the club's still in a good place, albeit with those three departing. Yeah,
I think so, and I think, from a personal point of view, the fans have been unbelievable with me since I first come in, the connection, and obviously I think it's been a really unbelievable year, isn't it, since getting promotion, getting to Wembley, the football, the last sort of 7 to 8 months, since we sort of turned a corner after Christmas, and I think we just want to see more of that, and I hope that the fans see that too, and I'm hoping that it's more of a comfort to them that there aren't going to be huge changes, and that we're going to hopefully see and watch the football that's been unbelievably enjoyable to watch. And from my point of view, that's not going to change. We're still going to play the same way. We're still going to follow the process. We're still going to play out from the back. We're still going to use our technical players and just keep developing. And I keep using the words, I say to the lads, we just got to keep adapting, keep evolving, keep getting better, because we don't want to stand still. We don't want to think we've cracked it for 1 minute, because the minute you do that, you fall on your face. And yeah, I think it's a really good opportunity now for the club, the fans, the players to all, have a moment and appreciation for what Mike, Ian and Belly have done, because yeah, it will probably take a while to realise the impact they've had in the area, not just the football club but Gateshead itself, but also hopefully a coming together of, right, come on, let's all get together, we are a club, we're unique, let's pull together fans, players, everyone, which I know we'll do, and let's crack on, and let's just keep taking the positives and keep moving forward, because ultimately whoever crosses the line out of our squad on a Saturday, you've got some seriously talented footballers who have proven time and time again they're giving everything for the shirt, and I think that's what makes following Gateshead and watching us play so enjoyable.
Yeah, and speaking of cracking on, obviously another game for you to contend with on Saturday. Obviously we mentioned it's going to be Saturday again, so a lot for you to get your teeth into, really. But Chesterfield at the weekend, and I suppose now preparations have already started looking ahead to that for you.
Yeah, well, we have to, we're watching Chesterfield at the moment. We're going to have to, crack on as we normally have. With this situation, it probably makes takes the pressure off the lads a little bit. They're top of league, we're playing them away, they're flying. A lot of people probably write us off because of the change and everything, and brilliant. We'll always be the underdogs, and we're quite happy with that. So there's no fear going into the game. We're going to go in, be who we are, play how we play. That intensity, that desire, that willingness, that bravery on the ball to go to Chesterfield, go wherever, whoever it is, it doesn't matter. We're always going to play who we are. We're always going to be who we are, play our football. Chesterfield, I know the manager really well. I know the assistant manager, unbelievable manager, Paul Cook, and what he's done over his career and what he's doing at Chesterfield at the moment. They've got some absolutely fantastic players. They're obviously flying in the league, and rightly so. So yeah, for us it's a great way to start and sort of pitch ourselves against what is pretty much is the best team in the league. And yeah, we're looking forward to it, and we're looking forward to the challenge, and it's the first step on what's hopefully going to be a very good journey.